Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Sarah, and today I want to share with you my makeup use up list for 2018. Now, to be clear, I will not be naming specific items that I want to use up in this particular video. What I am doing for today is I just want to give you the categories that I hope to use up and then the number of items in each category. So I did a huge kind of organization today, and what I found was that I have so many deluxe size samples, which I did know, let's be honest, we know when we have stuff just hanging around. I have so many deluxe size samples. I've been a subscriber to Ipsy and Sephora Play and BoxyCharm and Birchbox, all at varying times in the last probably 5 or 6 years. So I have a ton of deluxe size samples, and I really want to focus on moving those out this year. First of all, because I want the space. I've mentioned before how my husband and I were newly married and we're trying to figure out how do we commingle all of our stuff together. How do we make room for his stuff and room for my stuff, and, make sure that it's all neat and organized and we're not just living in piles of stuff. So that's one big reason why I want to really not minimize. I am not a minimalist by any stretch of the imagination, but I want to find value in the things that I have and work through them and see, do I like this? Is this something that I want to purchase? Is this, do I hate this and I can throw it in the trash or give it to someone, or, whatever the case may be. I want to use the stuff that I have. So that's one reason for, that's one big reason, I should say, for really going through my collection earlier today and figuring out what I want to use for this year. Now, as I said, you will notice there are a lot of deluxe size samples in this particular project. And the reason for that is because I have been a subscriber to those subscription boxes for so long, and I really just want to move some of that stuff out. I think it's a good way to really, to get some exposure to some of the higher end or even the independent brands that you may not be super familiar with, and find out, what you might want to try next. Or like I said, if you really hate it, then you can just go ahead and get rid of it. So, excuse me. I found this really cute notebook. It's actually a clipboard at Target the other day, and it has little nail polish bottles on it. And I always like to, I do have a master spreadsheet where I have all of my daily use that I track for my projects, but I also like to have them written down in a list as well, and that just kind of keeps them at the forefront of my mind. And I am definitely an analog girl. I like to write things down. I like to make a list, and so I just thought this notebook would be really cute to keep track of my projects for the year. So without further ado, let's talk about the categories that I have for my makeup use up 2018. Now, right off the bat, I want to say you're not going to see any bath products or lotions in this particular list. The reason for that is I don't find those are my problem areas. I only have a couple of bath products really, and I'm talking like shower gels and things like that. I only have a couple of them. And then lotions too. I have one bottle that I'm working on right now, and I have, I think, maybe 2 others that I have in back stock. So those I don't consider to be my problem areas. So I don't have a target or a goal for items to use up for those categories for this year. Now, there are still plenty of categories on this list. I think I have 23 categories to work through. So let's talk about the categories that I do have. So first of all, I have lip masks. And what I mean by this is not necessarily like lip treatments or even like a lip scrub or anything like that. I mean those like gel masks that you put around your mouth and you sit with them there for like 5 or 10 minutes or whatever the case may be. And you just sit, and they're supposed to be very hydrating. And I have 3 of those currently in my collection, and I would like to use all 3 of those this year. I also have a bunch of eye masks in my collection. And by those, I mean the little strips that you put under your eyes, and they're either paper or gel or whatever they are. I would like to use 4 of those this year. Then I have the full sheet masks, and what I mean by that is like the full face, you put it over your whole thing and it's got little cutouts for your eyes and your mouth. I have on my Target sheet 6 to use up for this year. Now, I have way more than 6. I probably have like 26 in my collection. However, moment of being candid here, I also had 6 on my goal list for 2017, and I literally used 1 sheet mask the entire year. So I don't want to be overly ambitious here. Some of these categories seem kind of overly ambitious, but this is not one of them. I would love it if I could use up 6 sheet masks and get at least 6 of them out of my collection. I don't know why, I just keep buying them and I'm not using them, so I need to start using them. Okay, next I have peels and masks. And what I mean by this, first of all, by peels, I've got a few little foil packet samples of chemical peels, and so I want to use those up. But in the same category, I put masks, and by that I mean like a mud mask or a clay mask or something like that. And my goal for that is 7. Now, that might seem like a lot to you. If it was 7 full-size masks, that would seem like a lot to me. But in this case, it is all deluxe size samples that I want to use for just like the clay and mud mask category. So next I have cleansers, and for cleansers, I would like to use 7 deluxe size samples. I have 1 foil packet of cleanser that I would like to use, and then 3 full-size cleansers. Next, I have eye creams, and for eye creams, this is a category I don't actually own any full-size eye creams because I have been a subscriber for so long to so many different boxes. This is something that I get pretty frequently, and one of those little pots of eye cream can last you for ages. So in this case, I only have 3 deluxe size samples of eye cream in my collection, and I am hoping to use all 3 of those this year. The next category that I have is moisturizers. And for moisturizers, I would like to use 9 deluxe size samples and 3 foil packet moisturizers. Next, for primers, this is one of those where it's going to seem really ambitious. I would like to use 15 deluxe size samples of primers, and by that I mean face primers. We'll get to eye primers here in a little while. But I'd like to use 15 deluxe size face primers, 4 foil packets of face primers, and 1 full-size primer. Next, for serums and oils, this is another category I don't purchase for myself. I have gotten plenty that I in subscription boxes. So I currently own 3 deluxe size samples of serums and oils, and I'm hoping to work through all 3 of those this year. Next, I have concealers, and for concealers, I would like to work through 3 deluxe size samples, 4 foil samples, and 1 full-size concealer for the year. Next category I have is foundations, and for this case, I'm actually considering foundations, BB creams, and CC creams all in this category. I use them all for the same purpose, so I'm just saying anything that I use for my foundation step. So for the category of foundations, I would like to use 4 deluxe size samples, 7 foil samples, and 2 full-size foundations or BB creams this year. Next is powders, and I only use powders as my as a setting step. So after all of my face products are on, I don't use powder foundation and then a setting powder. I only will use powder as a setting step. So I have 2 deluxe size samples and 2 full-size products that I would like to use for the powder category this year. Next, I have bronzers, and for bronzers, I would like to use 2 deluxe size cream bronzers and 1 full size powder bronzer. Next, for blush, I would like to use 1 deluxe size cream blush, one full-size cream blush, and one powder blush. And if you have ever panned a blush before, you know how difficult that can be and how long that might take. For the next category, I have highlighters. And I want to use 2 deluxe size cream highlighters this year and 1 powder highlighter. And again, that's one you use just the teensiest little bit every day. So powder highlighters can last a long time. Next, for the category of brows, I have mentioned I don't do a lot with my brows. My brows are very thick and they're very dark, so I don't have to do a lot with them. I just usually will use a little bit of clear brow gel just to keep them, where I tell them to go. So for brows, I only have 2 deluxe size samples of brow gels, and I would like to work through both of those products this year. Next, for eye primers, I told you we would get to this category. So for eye primers, I don't actually have any samples. I would, however, like to work through 2 full-size eye primers this year. Next, for the category of eyeliners, I want to work through 9 of the minis, or deluxe size if you want to call them that. I call them minis because they're really bigger than, a deluxe size. I want to work through 1 full-size pencil liner and 2 full-size liquid liners. For mascaras, I feel like we all have a ton of mascaras, and I would like to work through 10 deluxe size mascaras this year. Maybe that sounds like a lot. Maybe it doesn't to you, but I have mentioned before, I do use 2 mascaras at a time. I will go through with 1 coat and, with 1 type of mascara and do 1 coat, and then I'll use a different mascara and I'll do my second coat. So I've always got 2 mascaras on the go, so I'm pretty confident I can work through 10 this year. And when I did my inventory earlier today, I think I actually had 14 deluxe size and 4 full size mascaras. So even if I work through all 10 of those, I still won't have to buy any mascara for a while. Next, I have perfumes. And for perfumes, I do not have an extensive collection. However, I keep getting those little bitty vials in Sephora Play, and I had a bunch of them when I was looking for my wedding scent. So I have 17 deluxe size perfume samples that I really want to finish off this year. And then I have 1 roll-on, which is almost new, that I want to finish off this year as well. Finally, I have the category of setting sprays, and this is another one where I don't currently have any mini sizes or deluxe size or travel size. I'm surprised because for a while I had quite a few minis of setting sprays, but I apparently have worked through all of those, and so all I have currently is full size of setting sprays. So I would like to use 3 full-size setting sprays for this year. And now 3 more products that you did not hear mentioned in this particular list that I do just want to go ahead and mention. First of all, I do have a project polish video that will be coming up soon. I don't think I've published it yet, but I will have 6 polishes to show you in that video. Also, my lip service project pan video that I posted about a week ago, you can go check that out if you like. I have a very ambitious list of 25 lip products that I am hoping to work through this year. And finally, eyeshadows are also not on this list. So as you know, I have 2 palettes that I'm working on for my Pan That palette this year. One is a brand new full-size palette that's the dupe of the Naked 3. So that's 12 brand new shadows that I'm working on. And then the remainder of my 2017 Pan That palette, which is the Stila in the Light. I still have 4 shadows remaining in that palette as well. So if I were to finish off both of those palettes, that would be 16 eyeshadows. So I don't know if I will be able to do it. I will feel so accomplished if I am able to do it, but those are my goals for those particular categories, and that's also why they were not on this list today. So I want to hear what products you're working on, what you are excited to work on, and also if you have a project particularly dedicated to working through your samples, let me know. I think this is the easiest way to get motivation for Project Pan, because if you're just breezing through those samples really quickly, then it's easy to see like, hey, I can do this. I can work through products. I can clean up my collection. You know, to me, it's very motivating to work through some of these deluxe size sample items. So let me know what you're working on below. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you will subscribe and stick around for more. I've got lots more coming up, and I hope to see you soon. Until next time, have a great day. Thanks for watching.